Take control of induction motor on rotor side. Take control of induction motor on rotor side. There are different types of controlling methods. Rotor resistance controlling methods are conventional rotor resistance control method and static rotor resistance control method. Slip power recovery scheme. So based on the three concepts, we have to control the induction motor. That is called slip ring induction motor only, not for scroll gauge induction motor. So only slip ring induction motor. So first, try to kindly focus on conventional rotor resistance control method. Okay, conventional rotor resistance control method. So this is a conventional rotor resistance control method scheme. Understood? Conventional rotor resistance control. In this conventional rotor resistance control, this rotor side is the external resistance are connected. Okay, through the slip rings of the induction machine. In this method, this rotor resistance, the rotors in a slip ring induction motor is possible to insert the external resistance. No? It is possible to insert the external resistance into the rotor circuit of a slip ring induction motor. So not for squirrel cage induction motor. So in the squirrel cage induction motors, end rings, this copper conductors or aluminum bars or copper conducting bars short circuited by end rings in squirrel cage induction motor, but not in slip ring induction motor. In slip ring induction motor, this rotor circuit can have to connect the external resistance into the rotor circuit by using slip rings. Understood? By using slip rings, it is possible to connect the rotor circuit resistance into the slip ring induction motor. Okay. So here, this method is only applicable for slip ring or wound rotor induction motor. Okay, not for squirrel cage induction motor. Okay. Here, three-phase is supply fed to the stator. This is called stator of a induction machine. Okay. Three-phase AC supply is fed to the stator, and variable rotor variable resistance is called R2. Is connected in the rotor side. Is it clear? The three-phase supply is fed to the stator of a slip ring induction motor, one rotor. This and this rotor is connected. Okay, variable resistance is R2. Variable resistance is R2 is connected to the rotor side of a slip ring induction motor. Understood? So this is a variable resistance. Okay, so variable resistance, so that's called restart. Okay, the variable resistance is connected in like a star manner, okay, into the rotor circuit. Understood? By changing the rotor circuit resistance, it's possible to change it. Understood? So by changing the rotor circuit resistance, it is possible to change the that's called starting torque. Starting torque of the induction motor can be controlled by changing the rotor circuit resistance. Am I right? So you can easily understand from the speed torque actions of the rotor resistance control. Okay, you know the relations are related to the rotor resistance. Okay, so when the rotor resistance is inserted into the rotor circuit of a induction motor, so what happened? The current is decreasing. Current drawn from the supply is also decreasing. I2 rotor circuit resistance is I2 is equal to S into E divided by R2 plus J into X2. The rotor circuit rotor resistance is decreasing means this current drawn the rotor current is decreasing. That means according to the transformer action. So the stator current is proportional to the rotor current. If the rotor current is decreasing means okay, the rotor current is decreasing means stator current is also decreasing. Okay, at the time of starting, this current drawn from the supply is also decreasing. These are the advantages. Okay, the rotor resistance, conventional rotor resistance, and also starting torque is increases. Okay, starting torque is increasing in slip ring induction motor. Understood? So this is the method. In this method, so these are the torque versus speed characteristics. Understood? Torque versus speed characteristics of induction motor. This is called torque versus speed characteristics of an induction motor. So by varying the rotor resistance, so like this. So by varying the rotor resistance here. R2 is R2 double dash is greater than R2 dash is greater than R. This is called R2 double dash. Okay, this is called R2 double dash, and this is called R2 dash, and this is called R2 dash. So for here, this R2 is called rotor resistance, actual rotor resistance of the slip ring induction motor. So this is called small R2 is called actual rotor resistance of the slip ring induction motor. So for this, maximum torque remains constant. Okay, so maximum torque remains constant even though you are changing the rotor resistance, but starting torque is changing. This much of resistance is connected in series. Only this actual rotor resistance is connected in the rotor circuit. So what happened? This is only starting torque. Okay, this much of starting torque is developed in induction machine, slip ring induction motor, because of this resistance. If we are increasing the rotor resistance R2 dash, R2 to R2 dash. Okay, if you are increasing the rotor resistance, the maximum torque remains constant, but starting torque is increases to TST1 to TST2. Okay, TST1 to TST2, the starting torque is increases. Again, if you are increasing the rotor resistance greater than R2 dash, R2 double dash. Okay, so this curve is called R2 double dash curve. So when the rotor resistance is increases to R2 dash to R2 double dash, the starting torque is increases to up to RST2 to RST3, starting torque to starting torque 3. So like this, by increasing the rotor resistance, okay, the starting torque of the 3-phase induction motor is increased. Understood? At the time of starting, okay, at the time of starting, so starting torque is required more. Am I right or not? At the time of starting of the induction machine, the starting torque must be more. So what happened? What we have to do? We have to increase we have to place the high value of resistance into the rotor circuit. This restart position will be maximum. The restart position is maximum, then the starting torque of the induction motor is more, and then it is easily to start. Okay, understood? So in this way, it is the slip ring induction motor can be started by using increasing the rotor resistance. In this way, so we have to control the 3-phase induction motor in this way. Okay, speed versus torque characteristics. Understood? By varying the rotor circuit resistance R2, the starting torque and the starting current can be controlled. Starting current and also starting torque is also controlled. Next, so next start curves are speed versus stator current. Speed versus stator current. Okay, in this curve, by increasing the rotor circuit resistance, this curve so related to the rotor resistance R2. Okay, and this is the curve R2 dash, R2 double dash, R2 triple dash. Like this, if the rotor resistance is increasing, like this manner, the rotor resistance increasing. R2 double dash is greater than R2 dash is greater than R2 dash is greater than R2. No? If the rotor resistance is increasing like this, in this way, okay, the starting current of the induction motor is decreasing. You know, well, so relation I2 is equal to rotor's current I2 is equal to S into E divided by under of R2 square plus S into X2 whole square. Na? S into E divided by under of R2 square plus S into X2 whole square. Am I right or not? So when the rotor resistance R2 is increasing, the starting current I2, starting current, the current flowing to the rotor circuit is decreasing. The resistance and currents are inversely proportional. That's why when the rotor resistance is increasing, so R2 dash, R2 double dash, R2 triple dash, like this, the rotor resistance is increasing, and then the starting current is increasing. Starting torque is decreasing. Starting current is decreasing. Understood? By using the relations, you can easily understand. Okay, so this how the starting current is changes with respect to the rotor resistance. Speed versus stator current characteristics. From this curve, so by increasing the rotor circuit resistance, the stator current decreases and the speed decreases. Understood? From this curve, so we can easily understand this By increasing the rotor circuit resistance, the stator current does decreases and the speed decreases. Understood? So in this way, this rotor, this slip ring induction motor can be controlled. Okay, this is called conventional rotor resistance control method. By varying the rotor circuit resistance, okay, by varying the rotor circuit resistance, we have to control the. Understood? So, and is having some, even though if it is starting torque is increasing, starting torque is can be controlled easily, but is having some drawbacks. So the drawbacks are, so the main drawbacks of this methods speed controller, conventional controller are reduced efficiency because of slip energy is wasted in the rotor circuit resistance. You know, will slip. So what is the slip power here in the induction machine? What is the slip power? S into slip into air gap power. That is called rotor input. S into air gap power is called slip power. Am I right or not? That is fed to the rotor input of the slip ring induction motor. S into PG. Rotor input is nothing but slip times of the stator output. Understood? So that is called rotor input. So S into air gap power is called slip power. That power is wasted in the rotor circuit. Okay, they reduce the efficiency because of the power wasted. They reduce the efficiency because of the slip energy is wasted in the rotor circuit resistance. Understood? So reduce the efficiency because of slip energy is wasted in the rotor circuit. The rotor resistance increases means rotor resistance is increasing means this power loss takes place because of that efficiency of this control method is decreasing. Speed changes very widely with the load variation. This is also one of the main drivers. Speed changes very widely with the load variations. Unbalance in the voltage and current of the rotor circuit resistance resistance are not in equal. Okay, the rotor circuit resistance are not in equal. The unbalance in voltage and current in rotor circuit. Okay, this yes, the resistance are unbalanced. For example, so this for example, this is called one of the phase. Okay, one line, one phase. Yeah, then phase. If the rotor resistance is more, here less, and here different. So if the rotor resistance are this different manner. So what happened? The rotor current is different in each phase, and also it is become so unbalanced. Okay, this rotor is become unbalanced. Unbalanced in voltage and the current, the rotor circuit resistance are not equal. Okay, so these are the drawbacks of conventional control method. However, several advantages of these methods are absence and inrush starting current. Okay, inrush starting current means high starting current can be reduced by using this type of method. High starting current, okay, can be reduced by using this method. So that means absence of in rush starting current. And next, availability of full rated torque at starting. Availability of full rated torque at starting. High starting torque. No? So this is one of these advantages. Starting current is less, starting torque is more. Understand? High line power factor. High line power factor. That so power factor is equal to cos pi is equal to R by Z. Okay, resistance is more, then power factor is also increases. Okay, absence of line current harmonics. Absence of line current harmonics and smooth and wide range of speed control is also possible. Okay, smooth and wide range of speed control. So these are the different type of several advantages of the slip ring induction motor. This scheme is hardly used nowadays. So this is one of the main drawback of this this system is main drawback of this method of speed control is called slip power is wasted in rotor circuit. Slip energy is wasted in the rotor circuit circuit resistance. Okay, this and also in the static rotor resistance control method also. Okay, in the static rotor resistance control method also, this slip power is wasted in the rotor circuit. Understand?